Good morning. Welcome back into Wake Up America. So the first GOP debate now less than a week away. We've been talking a lot about this, but it's going to be really important for a lot of these candidates not named Donald Trump. 8 candidates have qualified so far, but we might just see 7 on stage, depending on what Trump decides to do. Don't forget, he's going to be arraigned at some point next week in the state of Georgia as well for a 4th time, which is a story in and of itself. We'll get to that in a moment. But joining us now for more, 2016 presidential candidate, former Wisconsin Governor Scott Walker with us. Governor, great to have you back on. Good to see you.
Thanks. Good to be with you.
So you've been there, and I'm so curious about this because let's say we were in a general election. You know who your opponent is. You can hide away in a hotel for the weekend with your team and run mock debates and go through that sort of thing. But right now, a lot of these candidates are going to be introducing themselves to the American people for the first time. What do the next 5 days look like as far as preparation goes? Because they've got a campaign as well.
That's exactly right. A lot of them will go through mock debates. They'll have somebody playing each of the other candidates. They'll be sitting down talking about what they're going to say versus the others. To me, the biggest mistake anybody can make is don't talk about your record, whether you're a governor, a senator, a diplomat, a business person. Talk about what you're going to do going forward, because that's what the American people want to hear. The other big thing, and I was on that stage 8 years ago next to Donald Trump in Cleveland at the first debate. It's in a similar circumstance to what we're going to see in Milwaukee this week. It's in an arena. Forget about the thousands of people inside the arena. Talk to the millions of people watching at home as though you're sitting in their living room.
Oh, that's really interesting. But don't you want to, you must feed off the crowd in a setting like that. Don't you want to play to the crowd? I mean, Trump's famous for this.
You want to say things that obviously energize them, but you can't be yelling like you might at a convention stage that would seem maybe appropriate depending on the reaction there. You want to talk, though, in a way that people at home feel comfortable, feel drawn into the conversation. Sometimes that's the mistake we've seen on the debate stage, where if it's on a big platform like an arena, people are talking to the thousands there, but the millions more at home are feeling disconnected. You can't make that mistake.
Okay, so 2012, I know that Barack Obama was running against Mitt Romney. First debate, Romney cleaned his clock because Obama didn't take it seriously. At this stage, do you think any of these candidates, and I don't know, but do you think that they're just like, well, I've got a campaign and fundraise. I don't have time for hours-long debate prep and then the postmortem after the mock debate?
I think it would be a big mistake. Remember, 8 years ago, that first debate, 24 million people tuned in. This for a number of the people running, including Ron DeSantis, who arguably, depending on the poll, is the closest, even though there's a big gap, to former President Trump. Every one of them is going to get a chance to introduce themselves to a large cross-section of primary voters. And in many cases, I work with Young America's Foundation. We're a partner. I keep reminding people there's going to be a lot of new voters, people who are just turning 18, 19, 20 years old, who really never paid attention to these candidates over the last few years. This is their chance to introduce themselves.
Yeah, great point. So I'm wondering what you make of this. You brought up DeSantis. Yesterday, a debate memo from a pro-DeSantis super PAC leaked. NBC had it. A memo written by leaders of a pro-DeSantis PAC outlined the overarching goals for Governor DeSantis during the first debate. And basically that was to attack Vivek Ramaswamy, who's been rising in polls over the last couple of weeks. One of their suggestions was to try and pull a Trump and give him a nickname and call him Fake Vivek. I don't know what the strategy is here, Governor, but I can guarantee you that it's not tell the other side what your plan is.
I think you're right about it. And to me, the best lesson is go out and be the boldest candidate on that stage while also being believable. I think if I was advising the DeSantis campaign, I'd say, look at what Vivek is doing. Look at the passion he's having, the confidence he has. That's what people want out of a candidate, whether it's him or somewhere else. I think DeSantis up until now has been making some of the mistakes I personally made years ago, which was listening to consultants telling me to run on my record.
Right.
Instead of saying, that gets you to the debate stage. What are you going to do next?
Yeah, and you got to be natural in there. You got to feel the room a little bit as well. See, people can be overcoached. We see it every cycle. Final question. Do you think Donald Trump debates? And then I'll just add to that, if your answer is no, how big a moment is this for people like Doug Burgum, who nobody knows outside of the Dakotas? This could be a huge night for him if Trump doesn't debate.
Well, 2 parts. One, I still think it defies conventional wisdom, but I still think it makes sense for President Trump to be there. I think he is a prize fighter, and prize fighters belong in the ring defending their title. I think all the people who think, oh, he should sit on the sidelines and let others debate this out. I think, no, he wants to be in the thick of it. He wants to defend himself.
Yeah.
More than anything, he wants to talk directly to millions, tens of millions of American voters out there about what's going on and why his experience puts him in the best seat moving forward. If he's not there, somebody else, I don't know who it is, but somebody else is going to fill that void.
A chance to rise to the occasion. Governor Scott Walker, hope to see you again next week. Have a great weekend. Thank you.
You too.